Mr. K comes up, I just want to give a small charge, yeah, to everyone. Last week, we embarked on a very powerful journey with our session self-discovery and confidence. We took the time to look beyond our technical skills to understanding our unique strength, So the goal was just to build that unshakable foundation of self-belief. Because now today we are going to talk about finance. If you really don't believe in yourself, I don't think you can actually apply personal finance style. So the goal was to build, to build our unshakable foundation, like I said, self-belief, confidence. So now that our inner confidence has been solidified, it is time to now build and project on finance, boys, and other things. So today, I said, let me do this honor of welcoming Mr. K again. So today we are focusing on crucial pillars, financial literacy. And I thought through this course, sir. I said, I had two people in mind. You were number one, and I said, if this man cannot take this course or this other lady, who else will? Having gone through all the hoops in the banking sector, doing, in fact, finance personified. So I said, you will actually do us this honor to guide us through this essential topic. And we are incredibly fortunate, which other English will I say, happy, to have you. So please, let's keep drums rolling. Let's give Mr. K a warm and enthusiastic welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Adekunle. In fact, my head is big and I'm trying to hold it together. Trying to hold it together. Welcome, everyone. It is quite a very big honor to be here this evening. And, we are looking at GCP finishing school. A finishing school is where all your edges, all the rough edges are smoothing out, where you get to see beyond just looking at the hard skills in life, your soft skills, your inner thinking, what goes in through your mind. How do you view the world? And we have quite a short, long time to discuss certain aspects of this. And like our honorable host have introduced, we'll be talking about personal finance style, financial literacy, and personal style. How, talking about money, does digress a bit. Talking about money is not something you can actually say, this is the way you should go about it. This is the way you should go about it, because everybody goes through different aspects of life. We all exist in different environments, and we look at life differently based on our history, our family backgrounds, experiences. So we just have to always consider a lot of things when it comes to this issue of money. Personal finance is, like the name says, personal finance. It has to do with you, yourself, and yourself. How do you view your finance? How do you handle your finance? How do you plan? How do you spend? What triggers you? What motivates you to spend? What pushes you? And good enough, we'll look at a lot of things this evening. I want to appreciate GCP finishing school. GCP goes beyond just classroom knowledge. You're equipped with life skills. You're equipped with leadership skills. Skills like your etiquette, skills of personal branding, how you talk. I just wanted to bring that up so that we're all abreast as to what actually brought us here this evening. So today's conversation, like I said, is about personal finance and lifestyle. In this program, we will explore how to enjoy life, how to express your personal style, how to present yourself gracefully without looking like somebody that is going through, the wilderness of the Israelis, And our outline is going to take us through um, an introduction, which is what we're doing now, and we'll probably focus on two um, topics, which is budgeting and savings. The savings also involves investments. So we at least we've started. So right now in the world, in Nigeria, we're living in interesting times, if I'll put it lightly, and there's a lot of pressure everywhere. Pressure about. I don't think it has been in any historically that so many Nigerians are involved in looking at prices per day, looking at trends, the dollar, how is the dollar affecting you? How is the government, what policies are the government pushing out for you? But, in general, looking at yourself, you have to say, okay, what are my own plans, right, to be able to take advantage of the situations around me? And what are my own plans to also fortify myself in terms of my finance and ensure that I achieve my short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals? Um, why do we even talk about personal finance? They said that personal finance is one of the most important life skills you can have. Every young person, every individual should have a skill in personal finance. And unfortunately, this personal finance is often neglected. Neglected in the sense that a lot of people just, if you ask yourself a question, like I asked a friend of mine, I said, if you just get like whatever happens, you get like 100 million. Let's not even go to probably 10 million. What will you do? What would be what would you have in mind to do? The first 10 minutes were about spending. I will buy, 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 I'll buy, I'll buy. By the time you finish buying, you will not have anything left. You get my point. Um, you get to a point in life where you have to be prepared. Being prepared is every day renewing your mind to the fact that I must plan my day, my week, my month, my year in terms of how do I spend money. I cannot just get money and just start spending. There's somebody that came up with a rule and said, when you get money, like your salary, for instance, the first 24 hours, calm down. A mentor of mine also said that when he gets money, he doesn't he doesn't react like go crazy and start telling people and spending. He withdraws calmly. Why do you do that? You have to have your brain. As human beings, we all have certain traits that is common to all of us. We want to enjoy life, you know. So if you just jump into that euphoria, you go through what we call emotional spending. Spending because you love what you're seeing, spending because, oh, I have suffered too much. Okay, let's not go too far. We have a lot to discuss, like I said. So the first thing I want to talk about is money decisions. Money decisions, they shape your lifestyle. Whatever you are making decisions on now is going to determine how you're going to spend your life in terms of how are you going to live? How are you going to impact your world? And you cannot impact if you do not have money. It's a very important aspect, a very sensitive aspect as well. The way you manage your finances affects nearly every aspect of your life. The clothes you wear, the places you visit, you know, the quality of your experiences. You want to travel out, you have to plan for it. You want to buy the new clothes in town, you have to plan for it. You know, um, the kind of opportunities you have access to, the way you spend money and the money decisions you make right now will affect all those choices. You have to create good financial habits because that is where your stability comes from. When you have poor habits, you will be going through unnecessary situations where you are not decisive, you are unstable, you cannot plan. Your mind is always going to be scattered. Um, Building financial independence also is where the real confidence comes from. Last class we talked that was taken, where there was a lot of focus on confidence. And this confidence we're talking about is something that also has to do with how you manage your finances. Because a person that doesn't imagine yourself not being able to pay rent, if you're not able to pay the rent, you are looking at being evicted and being thrown on the streets. If you're thrown on the streets, how would that affect you emotionally, physically, psychologically? It will make you all over the place. So your financial independence is what everyone should strive for. Um, you have to be intentional. Money habits have to be intentionally built over time. You have to build your spending habits. You have to build your different aspects of your finances. You also have to be smart. You have to be smart in terms of your investments. You also have to be smart in terms of how you save and how you spend. Um, like I mentioned, this is our introduction, and the two aspects we're going to focus on is budgeting and savings. So, what is this budgeting? Budgeting is like the starting point. It's where everything starts from. If you're going to be really financially independent, you have to budget, you have to plan. When we talk about personal finance, budgeting is just the starting point. It's the first step forward of taking control of your life, taking control of your habits and your future. Budgeting is not deprivation, if some people look at it that way. It's about intention. How am I intending to achieve my goals? Your goals have to be built around your budget. It helps you to plan better. So, like this is a class, so we have to look at um, some, critical aspects of budgeting. They said that budgeting is a fundamental skill. It's a fundamental skill in personal finance freedom. Um, a lot of people misunderstand what budgeting is. A lot of young people don't get to understand what budgeting is until you get to our young age. Then you now start saying, no, we have to start planning, you know, this thing. When you are young, you have a lot of flair, a lot of enthusiasm about life. You want to enjoy life. You want to go places, see people, meet people. But that is where you make a lot of errors because it's easier for you to go make plans when you are younger than when you are younger like us at this stage. It's easier for you to make plans when you're younger, because it gives you experience that you take into the later parts of your life. So budgeting is not just a financial exercise, if I would say that. It's a reflection of discipline, a reflection of self-awareness, refinement. True elegance includes the ability to manage resources wisely. True elegance includes the ability to manage your resources wisely. You might have all the money in the world, and you will not have what you are using that money to do in a wise sense, and you're just spending money. So, what is a budget? It's a financial plan, simply put. It's a financial plan that outlines expected income and allocates that income towards different categories of spending or investing over a period of time. So I get 1,000 naira today. Based on how I know myself, How do I allocate this 1,000 so that it will remain? I will still be able to satisfy my needs, and I might still be able to satisfy my wants. Needs and wants are some very strong words that we normally confuse together. Your needs are what you really need to get by in life, such as food you want to eat, um, clothes you want to wear. Now, not just clothes can also be split into needs and wants. You must wear clothes. That is a need. I want to wear what they call maybe Versace. That is a want. Do you understand? So we are looking at how do you allocate this your 1,000, which is your resources, to where you want to make ends meet, or where you want to invest, or where you want to, basically that is what budget is all about. Budget answers three questions. How much money do I earn? Some people don't like those kind of questions. We like to live in, denial. How much money do I need to spend? And where should my money go intentionally? How much money do you earn? How much money do you need to spend? And where should your money go? Those are questions we all need to answer when you want to plan a budget, because those are foundations. And, a budget ensures that the money you are getting and you are planned is assigned for that particular purpose. Instead of reacting, spending reactionally, you spend with intent. And that allows you to plan and remain in control of your spending and your life generally. Why is it that we must have budgets? Why must you have a budget? It's essential because every lifestyle decision has a financial implication. You want to do something, you want to go for a program, you want to make do carry out a project. There are always financial implications to all of this. And if there are no financial, if you do not plan it and plan it effectively, you will have issues. And those issues will put you in a situation where you are unable to achieve what you planned out to achieve. So for a proper budget, what do you need? Proper budgeting prevents overspending. It reduces financial anxiety. Overspending in the sense that you already planned, oh, I have this amount of money somewhere, and I want to use that to achieve a project. Maybe you're building a house or something. And you have budgeted that, oh, I'm going to use X amount to carry out this project. And without a budget, you will not be able to plan how much you're going to use for that particular project. All you're going to do is just keep spending, keep spending, keep spending. And at the end of the day, you might not be able to achieve anything. Budgeting encourages savings and investment. If you want to save and invest, you have to plan your budget. Because honestly, life throws at you different things. If you do not plan, you're going to be in a situation where you have spent the money or used your resources and you have not achieved what you need to achieve. Budgeting also builds discipline and accountability. Discipline and accountability in the sense that it helps you to be accountable for every amount that comes to your hand and leaves. It helps you to be disciplined. It helps you to not spend emotionally. It helps you to not spend reactionally when you're reacting. Oh, this coat is so beautiful. You didn't plan to buy it, but you buy it anyway. You are taking money from somewhere to achieve something that you didn't plan for. So that's one of the very important parts of budgeting, discipline and accountability. And also it enables you to plan for the long term. We are not in this life to just blow and enjoy and go to sleep. You are planning for the long term. You want to live long. You want to enjoy your life for a long time. You have to have a budget that makes sense and that will help you to achieve your goals and objectives. So, in terms of this budgeting, There are different types of budgets. Like I mentioned earlier, everybody have different experiences. Everybody have different situationships you find yourself. You are either earning salaries or you're somebody that has a business. You are either in the SME space or in the commercial space, or you are also, a contractor. Your money comes, you know, in periods. So the different types of budget, I need us to understand that in the budgeting is not one size fits all. I mentioned that earlier that, because of the different experiences, different budgets come into play based on where you find yourself. And the first type of budget is fixed budget. What is fixed budget? The budget is good for people that earn a stable income. So I earn 500,000 every end of the month. You can easily now allocate and plan. Oh, for the family, food, um, fuel, electricity, rent. You can budget that. I said rent because in Nigeria, okay, we don't do monthly rents, but you should always plan your rents in monthly forms. So it's easier for you to allocate monies to that particular aspect. So, because of the size of it. So for that, you can plan easily because you have a fixed income. So we call it fixed budgeting. So percentage-based budget is the second one. Percentage-based budget is, at signing percentages to what you earn, right? What you earn maybe a particular amount you earn on a periodic basis. What you earn, you now put percentages to it. Like the 50, 30, 20 rule, 50 for your needs, 30 for your lifestyle, and 20 for your savings and investment. We'll still talk about that later in this session. And envelope budgeting. Envelope budgeting is like grouping your spendings into envelopes. Like you have feeding, one envelope. You have transport, one envelope. You have lifestyle, one envelope. If you notice, you have to also budget for what we call the lifestyle budget. Your lifestyle has a budget because we are human beings and we want to have fun. So you have to plan the money you want to use to have fun rather than spend emotionally based on the kind of situation you find yourself or environment you find yourself. So the envelope budgeting helps you to plan a particular amount for each of those envelopes. You look at your feeding envelope. Oh, I planned this amount. You also have to be looking at that amount to say that, oh, the amount is getting low. You have to strategize to enable you, because the thing about envelope budgeting is once you have exhausted that envelope, normally you're not supposed to spend anything to that envelope anymore. That's what we call the discipline in it. So you always want to plan anything you're doing within that envelope will be transport. Rather than taking Bolt or Uber, you do like how we used to do those days, jump from one. You already know all the bus stops. Like, sorry to digress, there was a program where um, in Lagos where you have to tell the bus stops from one part of Lagos to another part of Lagos and say all the bus stops. So in that line, if your envelope for your transport is not, it's depleting, you need to know all the bus stops so that you know how to move and save your money. Something that will cost you 1,000 naira to get to. You now go and use Bolt, and Bolt takes you maybe 4,000, 5,000. Do you understand? So those are the kind of budgeting we have in terms of envelope budgeting. And the last one is the zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting means that every amount you earn, every naira or whatever currency you earn, is planned for something. You plan it to the naira. No cheating. It's zero-based. So at the end of everything, you have like a zero amount that is left for nothing. You understand? Every naira is assigned for a purpose, saving, spending, or investing, wherever one you want to do, and so that that income minus your allocations equals to zero. That's full accountability under this particular type of budget. So we've looked at fixed budgeting, we've looked at percentage-based budgeting, we've looked at envelope budgeting, and we've looked at zero-based budgeting. So what are the budgeting strategies that we can have so that you not get yourself into a quagmire? Pay yourself first. You know, your savings and your investments should be treated as non-negotiable expenses. You are setting aside money for future. That is the most important thing. When you get money, pay yourself first. After you pay your tithes, you know, I'm a Christian, so you must pay your tithes. Pay yourself first. You know, you are saving for your future. You don't just want to elapse everything at this stage. You are saving some so that in the times where things get dark, we don't pray for that, or things get a bit slow. You have something that is going to, you know, take you that distance. And so track every expense. Second strategy. You have to track and know what you are spending per whatever envelope or whatever aspect of your life you are putting your monies in. You know, always track your spend. I have an uncle that has this Excel sheet. His whole life revolves around that Excel sheet. Everything that has to do with spending, every aspect, up to bottle of water or his other lifestyle that he spends on. I can't mention it here, but he tracks everything. So that is another way for you to help yourself is by tracking your expenses. Then separate your needs from your wants. We mentioned this earlier that you have to know what are your needs and what are your wants. We normally will confuse it because of our preferences. You know, your needs are what you need, what is essential to you. Your wants are driven more by emotions and reactionary. So you have to know what the difference is. Your needs are your essential. It's just like your daily living. You must transport yourself, right? Now, how you transport yourself now differs. Are you going to use boats if you have the money? Or did you plan to use, you know, Sole Kaja, those kind of, sorry for those that don't understand Yoruba. You know, do you want to use the normal transport that would help you save more money? Now, just to mention this, spending money and our lifestyle, we have to know how to ensure that we are not looking or comparing ourselves with people. I should have mentioned that earlier. Comparing yourself with people gives you a problem. That problem has to do with, oh, you don't know how much that person is earning now, even if you know. It's not the same situation as yourself. Now, you putting yourself in that person's shoes will put you in a problem because you are not spending with what you know that you earn. You are spending based on trying to look the part or trying to keep up with the Joneses. We have to be very careful about those kind of spendings. There's no fiery, let me not call it fiery. There's no beating around the bush with it. Your reality is what you earn. That is your reality. You can go to church as much as you want and pray, and definitely you get answers. But your reality is what you earn and what you can spend per time. And that is what you plan with. When whatever increase you are expecting comes, you cannot plan with that. But don't plan against what you haven't gotten. Just wanted to push that up. So you also have to set spending limits as your strategy in your budgeting. Spending limits means like, if you know my feeding for this month is 30,000, don't go and eat in five-star restaurants. Booker in Transcorp Hilton Abuja. You know, plan your eating budget based on what you have. But eat right, right? Because also in GCP, we are promoting right eating, apart from other aspects. Eat right, but you can eat things food that are cheap for you, and they'll still achieve what you could have gotten in a very expensive restaurant. So eat right, but plan your eating. So also the final one, review and adjust monthly. One size doesn't fit all. Your budget will always be flexible, but always review it. Always keep track of what you are doing, and you can adjust accordingly. Some of the mistakes you should avoid: setting unrealistic limits. You cannot say you want to use 5,000 to eat in a month. How are you going to do that? You want to go and be robbing people. Do you understand? So you have to set those limits, those budgeting limits to where and realistically, oh, this is how much I can eat. You understand? Also, irregular expenses always come along, right? There are sometimes you cannot plan. Like, I will not say people should plan for hospital bills or whatever, but you can also budget. How do you budget for like things like that? You don't plan to fall sick, but you fall sick anyway. How do you budget for things like that? You've heard of having a a monthly remittance. So maybe your HMOs, right? You can have private health insurance where you can be storing money little by little, just in case you fall sick and you have to go to the hospital or get medication. Your HMO can cover it. You understand? Those are the kind of things you should plan for. Then when you ignore savings and investments, any budget you do that doesn't have savings and investment, that budget is not a budget. That is just you planning to spend till your money finishes. Your budget must have a savings and investment by force. Then budgeting without actually tracking your spending. If you are budgeting and you're not tracking your spending, big mistake. You must always track your spending. So, um, like we have spoken about maybe around, a budget is not a punishment. It is permission. You are giving yourself permission to spend. If you don't plan, if you don't plan, you will fail.
You
That's
will say,
just
yeah,
that's just the thing about it.
you don't plan to fill your family, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you don't,
You fail to
I've
plan.
forgotten yeah, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you are not planning,
Yeah.
you're gonna fail. That's just if God has mercy on you, fine. But you don't want to be at that kind of mercy. You should look for mercy for other things. But you should plan. You should always plan. It's not a punishment, it's a permission. Many people see budgeting as a restriction. It's not a restriction. It's something it's your permission to enjoy life without
Yeah.
any guilt,
Mm,
any fear, or any regrets,
mm,
because you have already,
mm.
you know, you have already put a resource to whatever you are looking to achieve, you know. And if your money has no plan, someone else is gonna spend it for you. Trust me. It might not be a person, it might be life, it might be a situation. So, in today's world, money is constantly being invited elsewhere. Friends, I mean, the advent of social media has brought a lot of blessings and a lot of curses as well, because everybody's on adverts on social media. You cannot open your Instagram account and not see adverts or things that you'd be wondering that, oh, so this thing exists. Oh, come on, let me even try it. Those are things that will distract you easily. Advertisements, peer pressure. You are
Peer
gathering,
pressure.
yeah, I don't know where I'm in Abuja, and you cannot just step out in Maitama now on a Saturday and you will see cars, you will see dressing, you will see trends that you never knew existed. And you'll be wondering, where
Power
am I?
bites.
Power bikes, Polaris bikes, those are three-wheel scooters. You'll be wondering, how is it that this is happening? Where am I? If you are not careful, that kind of pressure is going to push you to go and do things that will put you in trouble in the short, medium term, or even the long term. So always plan your money. If you do not plan your money, friends will drain your income. Peer pressure will dictate the lifestyle you want to live, even if it is something that is not beneficial to you. Emergencies will come and you will panic because you don't have the resources to face them, you know, and your spending will now become reactive rather than a planned
Mm.
exercise. When you now spend reactively, oh, my friend took us to this restaurant and we are eating, and you're looking around. Like one of the first times I went to book a restaurant in Transcorp, and I saw the bill, and I was like, and this bill is here, and people are eating, and this place is full like this. So this person has spent, maybe it was 40 something thousand then. This person has spent 40 something. How much? You now start calculating one, two, three, four, five. It's unnecessary. So the most powerful word in your personal finance is consistency. You have to be consistent. This word consistency is going to flow all throughout the modules of GCP because it
Yeah.
is something that you have to keep doing.
Mm.
You have to
Mm.
build a habit.
Yeah.
You have to build it as a habit. Savings as a habit. Investment as a habit. You know, success in personal finance does not come from dramatic moves or sudden breakthroughs, even though sometimes it might happen like that, really. Or it comes from what you do consistently, even when the amounts feel small. That small amount, you don't want to be in a situation where you're looking for 500 naira. You cannot find 500 naira. That is where an inconsistent aspect of your personal finance can lead you. You know, consistency means budgeting every month. You don't just do it first 2 months, you leave it 3 months, then you start just like paying your tithe. You pay it this month, you pay it 6 months time. It has to be a consistent move. Saving when even when you feel it's inconvenient, you're already looking at the month that man, this month go deal, you know, that kind of thing. And
Mm.
somebody is saying that you should save. Save what? How will I achieve this? How will I achieve that? You know, one funny thing is that right now, if you print your statement of accounts from January to now, just
Mm.
look at how much has gone through your statement and look at how much you claim you earn. And you'll be shocked. So much money has gone through your statement. You wonder, what have I done with this money?
Yeah.
Or for those that really plan well, be like, wow, this year has been beautiful.
Mm.
Why am I saying this? You have to ensure that those habits that you have built, the consistent move of having a savings, right? You do it despite whatever happens. Because, um, people in Nigeria here, we talk about family. And it's like they always know if you're a salary earner, they always
Mm.
know when the salary is being paid. You just notice that within a certain period, calls will just be coming. Hey, uncle, this has happened. Auntie, this has happened. Brother, if you see what happened, gas has finished. We can't even buy fire. You know, those kind of things. If you have a habit of savings, you have already put that money first. You know, we said pay yourself first. You have paid yourself first. Any other thing that now remains, you have planned it. Whatever remains for uncle and auntie, if it doesn't remain, fine. But there are some people that get into um, um, savings for, how will I put it, for situations where they save for helping people. Uncle and auntie that will come, they will put their money aside for that. It's still part of budget. Like I said, everybody has a different type of budget. You save for those that will come to you and say they need so amount. Once that envelope is exhausted, please, that is the end till the next. You understand? That is if you can afford it, really, realistically. Okay, so we are moving, and time is moving as well. Uh, so this there's a very common thing they taught us in banking about the 50, 30, 20. Some people can call it 40, 30, 20, 10. Some people can call it 10, 20, whatever works for you. But this aspect we're talking about is like a lifestyle formula. That formula that allocates monies based on needs, wants, and savings, right? For example, let's just go around the 50, 30, 20 formula. Your 50% goes to your needs. Honestly, with the rising prices and how the economy is going, you spend a lot of food. You spend a lot on transport. You spend most of your monies on, just your needs alone. They take a lot of your money. So it is not a bad thing to say that, oh, 50% of my money is going to my needs because you have to survive. You cannot keep all your money in savings and you are looking like a destitute. You are looking because in GCPA, we are also talking on how do you look. And looks,
Yes.
you need money. You need money to buy clothes. You need money to wear shoes. You need money to smell nice. At a point in time when I used to, jump from one taxi to the other, you will enter some places and you'll be like, the blood of Jesus cover me. Because the aroma of some people is something else.
Real
Sorry
aroma.
to, sorry to digress, right? So, your needs are very important to you. That's basically what I'm saying. Your transport, feeding, your school. A lot of us go to school. We are doing one. This is a class, basically now. We're using our data to go through this class. You have to plan for everything. So those are some needs that you have to do because you want to achieve some certain goals. So 30%, we've spoken about 50% for needs. 30% now is lifestyle. Like we said earlier, you must group. You understand? Now the level of your group now has to be managed. Allocate money for your lifestyle, the clothes you will wear. Allocate money. The roll-on and perfume, you don't have to buy perfumes like Creed of 400 or 500,000. You can buy perfumes of 2K. You get. Thank God for all these companies like, what's this very popular spray? You know, it performs two functions, perspirant and also like a perfume. So you are getting 2 in 1 for 3K, 2K. Do you understand? You don't have to go over and above to smell nice. You can actually have a plan to smell nice, still, plan your budget and move on with life without having to stress yourself. So you have to have a lifestyle budget. You have to go out. For those that have kids, your kids don't want to go out. Daddy, I want ice cream after church. Would you say, the over here, we don't have that kind of money. We cannot use those kind of, no. Even if you do it the first month, the second month, plan it. And don't be a wicked somebody.
Your child will
Sorry.
start asking you, Daddy, are we poor?
I've been, it's a very serious question. Then when you now start telling your children, say that one, maybe you have 2 kids, and one says, "Oh, Daddy, I want ice cream." The other one says, "Shoot, Daddy cannot afford it. It's painful to you." So plan it. You understand? Before they ask for it, already plan it that, oh, first week, even if it is twice a month, first week, oh, we'll go out and eat out. Last week of the month, with that, they will think it's something that, Then we also have hobbies that we want to we have that you are not just a robot. You also have things that you do on the side. So go through all those things and plan for them. Then your 20%. mm, your 20% should be for wealth building. We'll get into savings and investment in a moment. That is your future. It is so important to you. You have to put that money aside. Put that money aside as savings. Put it as investment. Put it aside. Don't look at it anymore. We'll get into that shortly, like I said, And you can have it as emergency fund. You can have it as investment, like I said, or savings. Even if it feels small, that small amount, it will shock you what it will become when you are consistent with it. So we are done with budgeting. I wish we had more time to, go through budgeting as deeply as we can, but we have to move on. And the other aspect is our savings and investment. That money you put aside, what do you use it to do? Do you just open a bungalow and be putting 1,000 inside? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. In those days, yes, that was the lifestyle. Keep monies under the bed, even if rats will eat it, or water will pour on it. But what do you just keep money aside, or you keep money aside for your money to work for you? That is the second aspect we're going to talk about. Savings and investment. What is this saying? Putting money aside for a future, purpose. You save it. You can save it, like I said, in a box, or you can save it in a bank, or you can save it in different um, places that we'll talk about anyway. So savings has an important role. It gives you stability. You see that stability when issues come that you don't plan for. You have those savings to cushion the effect of those kind of like when I think during Jonathan's government, where Nigeria had excess crude oil savings, and the then Minister of Finance was screaming that, hey, we can't spend excess crude oil savings because it is for a future event that may come or will come where we need some monies outside of what we earn on a regular. So your savings is that buffer that will cushion when you have issues that come in life, So one very critical aspect of savings, which you all understand, is what we call interest. Hmm? Interest, very powerful, yet a lot of people don't understand it fully. Interest is the reward your money earns while waiting patiently. That is just a simple analogy of it. That reward that your money earns for you while you are keeping it idle, that is what interest is. It is how your money begins to work for you instead of you working endlessly for money. Rather than carry your money and keep under the bed where mice can come and eat it, you put it in something that will earn you some reward while you are still piling it up. And the more you pile it up, the better and bigger your interest or reward becomes. You see, at GCP, we believe that, true independence and confidence comes from understanding not just how to earn money, but how to grow it intelligently. And that's what we are talking about. So your interest from your savings interest teaches valuable financial habits, discipline, patience, consistency, and financial security. That is what your savings is all about. You know, when you save your money in a bank or a structured savings plan, the institution pays you interest. That's your reward for leaving your money with them. This type of interest is generally small, but it is regular and consistent, and it is safe. A lot of people put money in crypto. They say it is savings. They say it is investment. But, well, we all know what happened with Bitcoin recently. And a lot of people committed suicide because they lost everything. Everything. Their risk-free and there are investments that have a whole lot of risk. There's the saying that high risk, high reward. But are you ready to, you know, buffer the issue of when you lose your money because of the risks that you've taken? A friend of mine used to trade and he built up 200,000 to about 2 point something million. Very good trader. And one day his village people came calling. He was trading in the night and that day had worked so hard and he slept off and the trade went negative and all the money went down to about 60 something thousand. Those are the risks that come with those kind of things. But when you save your money in a bank or in a structured savings plan, those kind of fears don't happen. So you have interest from savings, which is what I just said. Then interest from investments, which was this last thing I talked about. What do you know about investments? It's beyond growth. When you invest, you allow your money to participate in an economic activity, be it businesses, government securities, or assets that generate higher returns over time. We have to cultivate this habit of savings and investments. When you invest, you earn more, you own a piece of assets that you can use to invest in another venture. But you also have to be wise in your investments. Maybe another session will come where we will deliberately look at these investment types specifically. Investment interest or returns are usually higher than savings. A bank will give you a fixed rate, right? But investments like a property can appreciate exponentially. A property you bought $1 million can go for 10 million, that kind of thing. Investments are long term. They are things that will take you time to realize. But at the end of the day, they are a buffer against issues and they are a powerful wealth builder. Because when you invest right, your returns will set you up for life, if you understand what I mean. Then also, investment enables you to compound significantly. You see, this compound investment has to do with you have your regular investment amount, right? Your regular capital. And you start earning from your investments, right? Rather than using those earnings to take care of whatever aspects you want to take care of, you reinvest your earnings. That is compounding. And that reinvestment helps to grow your capital to earn you more. I just wanted to push that out. There's what you call the simple interest and the compound interest. So simple interest is you earn your returns only on the money you originally saved or invested. But compound interest means your original money plus your interest. So a lot of people say, depending on the type of investment you have, if you are putting in more, like if you have an investment that yields maybe treasury bills. I don't know if everybody knows about treasury bills. They are government securities and government debts that government uses to raise money from the public to control inflation and also to put monies to other aspects of what you want to do. So compound interest, right, helps you to increase your earnings from the initial investment that you put in. You understand? So for young people, I know that I'm sure we have some young people here. I hope we have some young people here. Starting early is actually an advantage for you. And starting now. Don't wait to start growing white beards or beards all over your face before you start investing. There are 15-year-olds in parts of the world that have become multimillionaires. I'm not a motivational speaker. What I'm just saying is that you can start having a structured life from now, rather than thinking that, let me just be eating daddy's money and daddy's mommy's food while you are hiding and not. Carry out investment from those monies you have, no matter how small. My son has this, he put his money in one of this short-term investment platforms. Well, it's something that I save anyway. If not, I'll have, and it's small money, but he's gonna earn something from it. And his money is safe, even though he didn't have money to even barb his hair at the end of the day. Daddy had to come in. But at least the encouragement is that he knows about savings even at a young age. He's 21 now, you know. So when the good thing, there's a pastor that said something. He said he spends the grandchildren of his money. The grandchildren, your great grandchildren and grandchildren are the interest you earn. So you invest 1 million, you earned 200,000. You invested 200,000, you earned 80,000. You invested 80,000, you earned 30,000. That is what he spent. He doesn't spend the main one because that 30,000 will keep dropping for him. I hope you understand what I mean. The
Mm.
grandchildren of your investment. So let me point that out as well. So I wanted to talk about something. There are different types of investments. We've mentioned savings. There are investments in what we call mutual funds. A lot of people don't know about these mutual funds, and it always sounds like, what will I call it? Like industrial physics. Mutual funds, you earn a lot of interest from it, and it is safe. Why is it safe? Because it's very, very much regulated by the government. So mutual funds are a type of investment where many people pull their monies together. And that money is professionally managed by companies, right? That have been just like banks, how they are regulated. Mutual fund companies are also very much regulated by the government. So those monies are pulled together and professionally managed and invested on behalf of the investors. Now you see the advantage of this thing. Oh, let me not jump. So there are different types of, mutual funds. These mutual funds, they are vehicles managed by professionals who invest the monies into different assets, treasury bills, bonds, stocks. Stocks are like buying shares into companies. Bonds are like debt instruments, right? That the government uses to raise money for projects rather than for them to go and borrow money from expensive countries or maybe the IMF. They raise bonds, excuse me, where you and I can put monies, earn an interest over a long period of time, and our interest is guaranteed. Bonds or treasury bills are backed by the sovereignty of nations. Like I said, maybe another time we'll be able to delve deep into it. Then, mutual funds exist because it's not everybody that has large capital. If we want to set up a building like a mall, you might not have the money to build it, but investors can come together, put money together, and achieve the same purpose while reaping the benefits of such an investment. That is what those are the kind of advantages that mutual funds gives you. It gives you an opportunity to partake in an investment that you normally would not have the monies to do. But your tiny, small money can also earn you something from it, if you get what I say. Um, so, like we said, there are money market mutual funds, right? And it is low risk. Those are like treasury bills. It's, it's only if the country sinks that your treasury bill can disappear. That is what it means. They are relatively safe and they are best for beginners and also for short-term goals. You want to achieve something within 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Those kind of money markets and mutual funds are what you should invest in. Bonds. Bonds, like I said, are government ways of raising debts for themselves to be able to achieve certain projects. And they also have little risks and they provide a steady income because you earn a fixed income over time. Stocks. A lot of Nigerian stocks did well this year, given the economy, but they did well this year. People that invested earlier in like some um, um, Dangote businesses. The stocks grew mighty well this year. So that's another way of investing. And investment does not mean putting all your eggs in one basket. You spread it based on the risk. You understand? You don't just say, oh, stocks, they say stocks are doing well. Everything you own in this world, you're going to put it to the side. There's no business that does not have risks, no matter what it is. So you spread your investments or your savings over different investment activities to earn you more interest or in terms of risk, aversion, or whatever works for you at that certain time. So I want to give an example. Or before I move to an example, let me finish about mutual funds. Mutual funds are beneficial because they provide you with professional management. You might not have the sense or the exposure or the capacity to be able to manage your funds. So, but you can earn money. You give it to a professional, they manage it for you, and you earn your interest. It gives you diversification in terms of spreading your risk across different aspects of assets. Then consistency that we have been talking about. It is ideal for monthly or regular investment. You get, oh, I want to buy into this. You take your 50,000 or your 5,000, you put it into some bonds that have been advertised. And also to mention, um, personally, right, as individuals, we also have to know how to sift for information. There's a lot of information that goes around the social media space on investment choices. When the government wants to raise bonds, they make a lot of noise about it. So get those information and read about them. Google is your friend. Read about them. How is it going to help me? How is it going to help me to achieve? I want to build my house in the next 5 years. Let's raise, right? So how am I going to achieve it? I'll just wait for money to slap me when I'm walking on the road. One money will just fall from somewhere. No, you have to plan it. So you start planning with these investments. You can say, oh, I'll buy into a bond. Bonds have a long-term yield, right? They have like 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. You can now plan with those investments. Just wanted to point that out. So why is it that you should invest early? You invest early because it is how your money works while you sleep. You you start off an investment at maybe 22. Before you get to 40, you have how many years? 18 years. A person starts off an investment at 40. At that age, you're already, taking things easy. You are not going to stress yourself. When you start at 20, by the time you get to 40 or 25, by the time you get to 40, you have already achieved what a 4-year-old is going to just be starting and not enjoy as much as you will. So it's always good to start early. If you save like 10,000 monthly, for example, at a 10% interest yearly, you put your money in a bank, fixed deposit. They give you 10% yearly. In 5 years, you will have more than 800,000. Do you understand? 10,000 monthly. You have more than 800,000, not just 600,000. Why? Because that extra 200,000 you've earned is your money working for you, the interest that you have earned over time, which is very important. Money working for you while you sleep. So for another example, there's what we call collective finance, building your wealth together. You don't have to go to one stranger, but you have to be deliberate in life. Deliberate in terms of the people you have around you, even as a young person, especially as a young person. The people you have around you matter a lot because you have to have people who like minds. You have to be somebody that your mind is working perfectly as well, not just somebody that just wants to go through life. But you have to have people who like minds with you. So this collective financing has to do with gathering wealth together. Many people believe that wealth can only be built individually. Take this, for instance. The truth is that some of the strongest financial opportunities come from collaborations. How do you work together to achieve goals that you don't, you may not be able to achieve on your own? You don't need to wait until you are older or financially established before you start investing. You simply need structure, discipline, and trusted partners. This concept is very simple. You form a circle of 5, 6 trusted friends, your trusted guys or girls. That circle, you have to be very deliberate about who is in that circle. They have to be people that are disciplined, people that are honest, people that are consistent, and people that are future focused. Not people that just want to groove and enjoy themselves. You understand? It's not just a social group, it's a wealth building team. Deliberate actions. So agree on a fixed contribution, weekly, monthly, however way you want to do it, whatever works for everybody that makes sense. Every member contributes a certain amount regularly. It doesn't have to be big money. 5,000 a week, 10,000 a month. It doesn't have to be big money. Every member contributes money together. Young people is what I'm talking to mostly now.
Not all people like us.
So
we have gone gray.
I'm telling you.
We'll chop the money.
So every member contributes a set amount regularly, right? It doesn't have to be a lot, like I said. So this pooling of funds together multiplies your financial power. What's small alone now becomes big. Imagine you people put in 100,000 together every month. Let's say you have that capacity. That is 500,000 a month. In a year, that is 6 million naira. You buy a land. Now, that land is mutually owned by 5 of you or 6 of you.
Is it obtainable here?
It is. That is why I said you have to be deliberate. You have to have people with discipline, honest, consistent, and future focused. You understand? There are people like that. There are people like that. People that are like
I know some locations like that. Sorry to interrupt you. I know
yes,
some
please.
people that have done in my state a lot, and you see them different buildings, and you're like, this person shouldn't have been able to buy a house, but they've been able to buy because of that joint
Exactly.
effort.
Exactly.
Yes, my Auntie Inka just said it is what the Chinese. Yes, especially the Indians.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you one scope. You see the Indians in Canada. One family comes, they rent a house, right? Another family comes, they put them under that rent. They rent a big house, maybe 6 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, and divide it. Another family or other families come, they use those, they rent from the first owners of the house. They have somewhere to stay. They do collaborations. As they are renting, other people join them. They are working. They get some monies, they go and rent another house, right? And in Canada, you can rent to own. As you are renting, you own the property. As you're working, you don't have to go and rent a big house. You're already renting a small place as people are collaborating together of like minds. When you have joined your money to a certain level, you go and buy a house. You put a down payment and you start owning the house and you pay a monthly mortgage, right? To own the house. You now start your own business. Some people will come, they will be paying rent. You may not have to pay, maybe your mortgage payments per month is maybe $2,000. The renting of the house, somebody is paying, or people have paid up to 1,800. You are only paying 200, and you are still meeting up your mortgage. That is how the Indians have taken over a whole lot of property in Canada. So I agree, Mr. Kupola. The Indians are very good with that. The Chinese too do that. So this combined wealth is a very powerful tool that you can use to be able to achieve what you might not be able to achieve with your small capacity. You get, you build networks. Those networks help you to invest in assets. You can have several assets, sell a land and use the money to start developing another land that you have owned. You understand?
Mm.
So it's just about wisdom on how to go about these things. Our
Mm.
time is far, far spent, and I don't know how far it has gone this far, but we thank God. So,
Questions?
okay, yeah. So please, let's
No,
take
no, the
questions.
floor is open. Go ahead, sir. Don't worry. Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
Mm.
I wanted to discuss the 7 levels of financial freedom. We'll just go through it, right? Um, Basically, this financial freedom is not a single destination. It's a journey. Just like GCP is a journey, you know,
Mm.
it's a
Yeah.
journey. You start from somewhere, right? Many people think financial success is about being rich, but true financial freedom is about control, confidence, peace of mind, and choice. Just like we said that budgeting is not a restriction, it's a permission.
Mm.
Financial freedom is giving yourself control over your life, confidence, peace of mind, and having a choice on what you want and what you need to achieve. So, the first level is called financial awareness. You have to be aware of what status you are, right? How much do you earn?
Mm.
How much do you spend? Where does your
Mm.
money go? Basic, basic. You have to be aware. You have to know about that. That is the first level. You know, a lot of people need to realize that the money doesn't just flow, it flows with intention. You get. So you have to direct where that money is going to. You have to be aware of what is coming, where it's going to. That is the first
Mm.
level. Second level is financial stability. You
Mm.
can pay your bill on time. You can manage regular expenses. You can avoid borrowing. When you get to a financial stability level, that is where you will know that, oh, I can pay my bills, my rent, they are not chasing me. I can at least buy food, you know, I can buy fuel for my
Mm.
generator. Basically you can, take care of those, your initial bills. The
Mm.
third level is called financial security. Your financial security is where you have built an emergency fund, you have savings,
Mm.
have investment. Your expenses have been reduced or curtailed. That is where you have financial security. The fourth
Mm.
level, so this stage, it protects you from panic. You are not moved by situations that come already because you have already built a buffer over time. The fourth level is financial growth, where you have gotten to the point where you are consistently investing. You are always investing. Where you are earning returns on the grandchildren of your investments. Where you understand compounding of your interest and your investment to earn you more. That is the fourth level. And the fifth level is financial independence. You have options. You are you have houses you are living in that are earning you rent. You have assets that you've invested in that are earning you return. You are just good. You know, you can invest in people. You can invest in other people. You have gotten to that stage. That is where you call financial independence. It's freedom from choice. You get financial abundance is, up there. You can buy a Mercedes Maybach. You are not just looking for a car to get you from point A to point B. You are not looking for Camry. Let me look for trouble. You are looking for Maybach, Lamborghini Diablo, whatever that is. Those kind of things. That is where you have financial abundance. Then financial legacy is the highest level. Is the financial
Mm.
legacy focuses on impact beyond oneself, long-term
Mm.
investments, like what Dangote is doing. His refinery is a financial legacy, you know, intergenerational planning. You are not just planning for you and your children. The wealth you have, in fact, your third, fourth, fifth generation cannot spend it like Elon Musk with the investments he has, you know. It's legacy where wealth meets purpose. It's not just about enjoyment, but about contribution, influence, and sustainability. So the 7 levels that we all need to look at: financial awareness, financial stability, um, financial security, financial growth, financial independence, financial abundance, and financial legacy. Don't kid yourself. Look through them. Where do you belong? Where you belong will help you to plan for the next level you need to be or you want to be. You have to look through it. You don't just happen overnight. A lot of people have tried to happen overnight and they didn't happen at all, in fact. So I hope that this little time we've spent, we've been able to understand just the basics, what GCP platform is giving us to expose us into what we want to be in the future. So I'm really thankful for this opportunity. I'm really humbled by the attendance and everyone that is here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I know we're right on time, but please, we have about 2 questions. Someone sent one personally, but I'll take the first one in the chat. He says, well done, Mr. Kayode. Good job. In fact, please, you guys can use the reaction. Please, let's give a round of applause for our awesome instructor. They're really detailed, really detailed. In fact, my notes, I'm definitely going to go back to this on YouTube to get myself on the right path. So he says, it's not easy to manage money. Please, how do you save or invest when your salary is not enough to take you home? That's his question, but I would tie it into the second one that came in my chat. He says, sir, my income is not fixed. Some months I make 300K, other months maybe 80, and some other months a lot higher. How will someone like me realistically pay myself first without running into trouble in my low months? So I think I'll let you take those 2 questions together.
He's muted. He has been muted.
Sorry about that. So I want to say something about the first question about your salary is not enough to take you home. So are you still working in the place like that? Any such salary that will not take you home? Just asking. Look, GCP is going to change a lot of our mindsets to life. You get?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I get to a point where my salary doesn't take you home, honestly, personally, I'll resign. I've done it before, right? Because we are looking at building ourselves. It's not about just being stuck in a position. There are a lot of things you need to go through and need to learn in this platform that we are, right? How to build yourself.
Yeah.
We all you cannot earn one particular income. As I am, be it small, be it big, I earn from different places. And it will shock you what I can do to earn money. Not illegally, but, works that we will say we don't. I write, right? I write a lot of things. I write proposals. I write a lot of proposals, business plans, and whatever. I also earn from a fixed income, and I also consult, and I also do trading. I sell goods and commodities. You can't restrict yourself to earn a small amount. And even as you're earning that small amount, you have to plan realistically on how you want to even see those small amounts. You have to plan it. Since you say by force you must earn that small amount, you will plan around it. You are earning 60,000. You ensure you sleep in your place of work. or around where you are working so that you don't spend so much on transport. It's reality that we are talking about. You will ensure that you have a small stove that you can use and pots that you will buy small ingredients and cook. I've given somebody this advice before. So that you don't go and spend money eating outside. What you will eat for 1,000 might not satisfy you in a day. So if you buy rice, one would, you buy tomato, you keep it. You use 3 tomato to cook stew. You will see that you can manage your little amount while you are still planning to get to a place where you can earn more. And getting to that place means a lot of self-development. I'm sure they took it in the first class. There has to be a lot of self-development on your own part so that you will be able to add value to take you to the next level. Stay on GCP platform. You go places. And the other one, meaning you don't have a fixed amount. Today you earn 300,000, next thing you earn 80,000. We discussed different parts of budgeting, right? And if you, different types of budgeting, I mean, budgeting in your case can be a percentage. A percentage in the sense that you will now have to graduate what you earn. I earn 300,000. My needs, I already know that I spend 60,000 every month, right? For my needs, or 100,000 for my needs. Remove the 100,000 and keep for your needs. For that kind of person, I'll advise you to have a bigger savings or emergency fund. So that the days or months you earn less, you have something to cushion it. So you budget that out of that 300,000, 120,000 goes into your savings. Or 150,000 goes into your savings, or bigger. Your initial needs has been met, 100,000 has covered it. Your savings, you have already built 150,000, which is 1 month and a half. So for the months that you earn 80,000 or 50,000, or you don't even earn anything at all, you have something to cover your needs. At least you can eat and go out and meet people and plan for anymore. So those are the kind of structure you put around yourself for that kind of person. I don't know if I've been able to answer those questions.
Yes, please. Yes, please. There's another question here. I think just in the interest of time, that's the last one we'll take because I know you might go a bit deep into that. She asks,
Okay.
please, how do you start investing? So I think I'll personalize this rather to her. Say, how do I start investing? I mean, safe platforms to begin investing. So that was an addition to that. But please, before you take that, I just want to draw everyone's attention to please, the attendance and assessment link is just being dropped in the chat. Please, while we're taking this question, as you're listening, please kindly fill that out. Thank you. All right, sir, please. Thank you.
Okay, so how do you start investing? There's no one size fits all. Firstly, you have to have information. You have to have information about a whole lot of things. You have to have information. While gathering this information, your basic is savings first. Do you get? Be saving. Whether you are planning or whether you are looking at a particular house, just be saving at the initial time and save in a bank. Even your regular savings account earns you an interest every month. So you can have a savings culture that targets a fixed deposit in a bank that earns you some interest at the end of the month. Now, why am I talking about information? Because information gives you access to a whole world that you might not be aware of. I think it was last year where the government started with a particular, I don't have the particular name, but basically it's a bond, right? I mentioned during the presentation that bonds are like safe investments in government debt that government uses to raise money for projects, and also it gives you a fixed income to be earned every month and every year for a particular period of time. Now, They started that bond with as little as 5,000 naira. So if you have 5,000 naira, you can already start buying into the bond and be earning interest on your little 5,000 naira. A lot of people, it was publicized everywhere on social media and everywhere on the radio and TV, but a lot of people still didn't hear about it. So you have to have information. Be open to hearing about things and be looking out for things. And there are also other simple things you can do. Like in your place of work, right? There might be opportunities such as you meeting people and selling stuff to them. It's an investment, trading investment. I buy perfumes, cheap perfumes, like in civil service. You have a lot of people that are in civil service. You buy perfumes and, oh, Mr. Lagbaja, this perfume is very okay. Very okay. You don't have to go to supermarket or Bonfuel. You can just buy it. Hmm? Pay me next week. But be careful for those that owe perpetually. But those small things are investments you can also have. So information is key in investing. You have to have information. You have to be open to hearing and sifting out from all the garbage that flies around. What is it that I want to do? And don't be greedy. Greed will lead your investment into problems because someone will promise you, like all the other schemes we've had in Nigeria, where you put 10,000 and take 1 million. Don't be greedy.
That's a correct 1 million.
What, Mama T, sorry, I forgot that very popular one. The man is dead now. The one that, MMM, yes. Those are not investments. Those are Ponzi schemes. Don't invest in Ponzi schemes. All those things are Ponzi schemes. They put people in big trouble. And a lot of people have lost everything they earned. Some people borrow monies to go and invest. Don't borrow to invest, right? Grow your investment. Investment takes patience. So you have to grow your investment gradually, right? That's why we've been emphasizing start early. But even if you don't start early, KFC started his business at what age? And now he's, all over the place. But you have to grow gradually, have information, right? And have the right people to talk to about investing in a particular thing. Those are people that are doing it already. Is this safe for me? Ask. So basically, that's what I believe should be your initial focus. Your savings is your first investment. Pay yourself first. That's your first investment. Your savings is your first investment. Your seeking information gives you access to a world that you now have a choice to which one is safer for me, given whatever situation you are. You understand? Then don't be greedy. Be realistic in your earnings. And don't think that it's miracle. Please. It's not miracle money. So I think that's my answer to that question, please.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
It was the last part of don't be greedy, be realistic with your with your earnings. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Matt would take our closing remarks from you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Cardi. Thank you. We have learned notes and all that, and I implore us to go back to our notes, practice them, like Mr. Kaude said in the course of the lecture too. GCP is not just, we are all here to change the narrative. We are here to unlearn and relearn. There are so many things we didn't know, which we need to, there is need for us to learn now. In terms of investing in ourselves, when we talk about finance, in fact, I wrote something here. When sometimes when I'm listening to classes, I hear what others may not hear. I said budgeting does not say you should not buy, but it says don't feel guilty when buying.
Exactly.
You are not gone are the days that you save money and look wretched and haggard. No, you plan your lifestyle, you plan anything. By the time you get that planned out, you won't need to feel guilty. So I want to appreciate every one of us that took out time to go through this session. Please go back, watch the recording, ask yourself questions, improve on yourself, develop yourself. What can I do? Like one of us that asked that question. Sit down, if you're in the last class, if you're not in the last class, go back to it. She said something in the last class. Go and think about that thing that gives you joy when you do. So from there, you can actually harness wealth from it. Is it talking? Is it writing? Is it knitting? Just look for something outside what you're doing, because the truth is, no matter